Bro, in all seriousness, this silent treatment thing is getting to be a little too much, for real. You could say something. Like, comment on did you see penalty talk last night? Did you see anything that I was asking you? Bro, for real, like I'm talking to you, bro, and you're not saying nothing back. What's really going on?
Strong and silent type, bro. Today's Thursday. I'm really focused, ready to get this show done. No, I'm not, bro. I'm just joking with you, man. It's been a long day already. Got some construction going on, so if you hear a bunch of noise, bro, forgive me.
Oh Lord, you like building a second story?
No, I'm getting a new fence, but hopefully it helps with the property value. And where I live at, you got to make sure things are in order. They'll put a notice on you though, so I ain't trying to have that happen.
Oh, okay. So you're trying to keep neighbors out your yard?
Yep, and keeping people from knocking on my door. Absolutely. Okay. And hey, may increase the property value a little bit, bro. Maybe get us out of projects and into the Upper East Side.
Nah, the Jeffersons got that locked down. They can only allow one in there, and they the one.
Oh, one? Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, Helen got in there because she was married to Tom.
She was married to Tom.
Yes. So, like, if you were Tom's nephew, would you truly have an Uncle Tom?
Yeah, I would. And as long as he keeps giving, I'm okay. Whatever he got going on the back end, bro.
This is why we can't move forward as a people.
The spook that sat by the door.
Introduce you to the greatest combat sports show bar none. You are now in the Beatdown.
You wanna get beat down?
Let us now introduce you to your host, the Badger, and
What's going on, family? It is Thursday, baby, Thursday. Coming up on the end of the week. Hey, 2 p.m. on Saturday, we got a fight. We got Artur Beterbiev versus Adam Deans. It's going to be on ESPN. Look, it's WBC IBF light heavyweight titles. Wow, we got 2 light heavyweight championships defended. Well, 3 really in total. But 2 separate fights for titles this weekend, just at the light heavyweight division. So that's going to be good. I'm looking forward to that because the vacant WBO, that's a cruiserweight title. It's going to be later that evening on the Zone. So the light heavyweight, that always confused me when I was younger. I'm like, light heavyweight, cruiserweight. I guess heavyweight you call fat boy. Cruiserweight you call fat boy light, and light heavyweight you call fat boy slim.
Fat boy slim.
Yeah, if you really wanted to give him the characteristics that define the weight divisions, fat boy would be heavyweight, fat boy light would be cruiserweight, and fat boy slim would be light heavyweight. Because usually the light heavyweights don't have a gut; they're in shape. They just can't get big enough to fight cruiserweights.
Okay.
And then heavy.
Do cruiserweights have guts?
Some of them, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Not a lot. They got a little bit more meat around the middle. But then heavyweight, just like I go from the training table to the gym to the training table, and usually the training table's at Olive Garden, unless you're Deontay Wilder and he's in shape. So is Anthony Joshua. Come to think of it, they just I don't know. They just progress in size. I like the old style heavyweights. Look like they came out smoking a cigarette coming out the locker room.
Yeah.
Like Riddick Bowe was probably your last classic heavyweight body. Like, I don't know.
Hey, Big Daddy was putting people out though. Big Daddy wasn't no joke, bro. So we gotta respect that.
And he lives down here now. A buddy of mine just sold him an insurance policy.
Yeah. Well, everybody's moving to Florida, bro.
I'm just being honest. Riddick Bowe came out. He kept his robe on to the very last minute. Then when he took it off, he had a towel that was long enough to drape down the front of him. Riddick was like,
hey,
I ain't in here to look good. I'm in here to win.
Hey, and he did a lot of that. He did a lot of ass kicking, bro. So we're gonna put some respect on the champ name, bro. Sometimes having that fresh off the couch bod can be a facade, bro. It ain't what you think it is, bro. So
and he I remember when he used
look at David Benavidez, bro. We're gonna talk about him later in the show, but look at him. Benavidez is like he just gets off the couch and fights. There's nothing about him that makes you think he is doing any type of physical workout.
But he's
not flabby, but he looks soft. He looks squishy. He doesn't look tight. Yeah.
And he used to be a fat kid.
Yep. Well, anyway, bro, I think we get the show started off with something that you familiar with, bro. Tickets on sale for WWE coming here next month, bro. Capacity will be at 25,000. How crunk is it gonna be in Ray J for the WWE, bro?
I believe it'll go up with these vaccines. I believe you'll see another date, like the weekend maybe before. Hey, we're able to release extra WWE WrestleMania tickets. But
so what's your over under 50%?
I'm thinking at least 50%
capacity.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least 50%. Right. I think you might actually get over that. They might actually allow them to put 40 to 45,000 in there. And believe it or not, they will sell that. They would sell out both nights if they would let them do it. But
one thing we do know, bro, is that as more of the records say that more people are getting a shot, then the more lenient they're going to be. They've already assured us that by the summertime, we'll see full capacity at sporting events. They expect NFL to be back to normal come August or September, because by then they're saying we should be at about that 70% general population that has received the vaccine for a quote-unquote herd immunity to take over, whatever that means.
Let's look at what's reality. Let's look at what's really happening, though. You're still having more deaths and more people getting it with the vaccine. Like they announced it this morning. You had more deaths this month than you had in September.
Yeah, that only sounds good to people that really care, bro. The general population wants things to resume back to normal. And as soon as they say, hey, we're at the magic 220 million amount of Americans, whatever that number is they're trying to get to, once they get there, people ain't gonna give a damn, bro. They barely care now.
But I want y'all to think about this. For those of you who do care, guess who started the Moderna company? Do you know, bro?
Enlighten me.
Dr. Fauci. He's the one who started the Moderna company.
That supposed to be a surprise?
To some people, it will be.
Hey, if you follow the money for a lot of stuff that you believe in, these people that you feel like are steering you in the right direction, bro, it's more than likely always a contradiction.
Well, he's the one he actually has the patent on the coronavirus from 2015 to 2017. So it's like, no wonder you're the country's top doc on infectious diseases. You're creating them.
We can always find a scapegoat, bro, but we're not here to talk about that. Listen,
it's not a scapegoat. That's for real.
Something that I do want your opinion on, since we're talking about stuff that's happening in the real world, bro. Briefly, what's going on in Atlanta, bro? I didn't really tap into it. I was so consumed yesterday trying to get stuff done. But with the serial killings of the Asian Pacific Islander people, bro, what is going on with that?
Oh, you said Asian Pacific Islander people.
That's the group they're identifying, Asian American Pacific Islander. That's kind of the
I keep hearing from CNN and from NBC Asian Americans. I haven't heard them really include Pacific Islander, but hey, I just missed it. You had an idiot that went to 3 massage parlors and killed 8 people, and 6 of them were Asians. They didn't say who the other 2 were. They probably black. Possibly, I don't know. They didn't say what the
Atlanta's a lot of everybody in Atlanta. But go ahead.
But what I do know is he claimed last night, I think it was, that he has an addiction to sex and pornography, and he went to these places because they are purveyors of that. And I'm like, this is just stupid. Who?
They gonna cook his ass on extra high heat. Yeah. That's not. Listen. Well, you should have just said I'm mentally unstable, mental health. I would have bought that. I mean, that's kind of what they all do anyway.
Yeah.
But you're talking about you have a perversion, and that's why you did this.
He said he's battling a sex addiction. That's what
men all around the world will tell you.
Oh, don't do that.
It's a lot easier ways to get laid than trying to walk into an Asian parlor with a gun.
Really?
Like, bro, what's and I don't believe him. I don't either.
Better
story than that.
But you can.
Bro,
I mean, you don't need to walk into an Asian parlor with a gun. Just $20.
Right, you need to walk anywhere, bro. That's what Tinder is for, bro. Plenty of fish, bro. We hear these stories all the time. It's not that difficult, my friend.
I do not endorse these products that he keeps spewing.
Listen, of course we do, because we don't want people to do this. So if you hard up and you need a good time, bro, there are social media platforms out there for people that are on hard times, bro. So please don't
listen to
use that
him.
as a reason to
Do
go out and
not
be a vigilante,
listen
bro.
to him.
It's crazy.
This man is on the cabbage. Don't listen to him, please.
He's trying to cast all this image that he does not believe what him, but he knows it's true. Young men, if you're having a hard time,
don't do it. No, I would not endorse that.
If you're having a hard time,
don't do that.
And Paul Met ain't getting it done,
don't do that.
Before you go out on Nebraska, just get on your phone, bro. Everybody got one. Listen, social media.
And most of the people have diseases on there, so leave it alone. I'm telling you, leave it alone. Anyways, what do you think about your boy Deshaun Watson? I have my opinions, but I kind of want to hear yours.
I don't know enough about it. I mean, this is not news. This seems to happen more often than not. Unfortunately for Deshaun Watson, it comes at the wrong time because you're in the midst of trying to get out of a bad situation to get into a better situation. And people are willing to give their whole franchises for you. But now you got this tagging along.
Imagine that. What a coincidence. What a coincidence.
But what you should definitely stop doing is trying to be like my partner here and pay for your services. Pay your weight. If this is what you wanted from these young ladies, bro, you should have paid up front so it would have been a clean transaction. There wouldn't have been no issues. But because of who you think you are and because you're paying for flights, bro, pay to play. It keeps your nose clean. I've been saying that for years, bro.
First of all, we're not insinuating that Deshaun Watson was guilty. His character doesn't even match up to this. But you know, it's easy to tag an African-American football player, especially a quarterback, with a sexual misconduct allegation. So, you know, I'm not going to let my partner just blow this up like ESPN is doing. No, let's look and find out the connection that Mr. McNair has with this massage parlor. Because Deshaun Watson said clearly, when the lawyer approached him originally, the lawyer asked him for six-figure settlement for them not to go to court. And Deshaun Watson refused. Next thing you know, he's being accused of this publicly. Let's not try this in the court of public opinion because this young man has really been an exemplary player and citizen as we know him to this point.
It's not about public opinion. I'm just stating the obvious here. Deshaun Watson, we don't know him, but yes, from all accounts, he's a great guy. But we don't know him. It's like we don't know any of these guys. We only know him on Sundays. But I will say this. In order to keep yourself out of predicament with young women, and this is not for Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's also heard this because they do rookie symposiums on this kind of stuff. But for some reason, these young men don't think it can happen to them. All of these young men are targets, period. So with that being said, stay out of DMs. These women have DMs from Deshaun Watson. These women have pictures of Deshaun Watson. So he is not exactly innocent in this. Now, did he do anything wrong? Probably not. But goes back to my point. When you're trying to have sex with a woman who is not in a relationship with you or you're not romantically involved with, this is a transaction. Either they're trying to get pregnant or they're trying to create some type of system or some type of circumstance around you for their benefit.
Didn't he just tell you to go on Tinder, young black man?
So what you do is make it clean. Hey, I like you, ma'am. You look nice. I know you don't know me, and I know this is an opportunity for both of us. So how much? That keeps you out of this kind of stuff. But you're not going to get by on who you are. Oh, I'm Deshaun Watson. She should want me. Oh, I'm Tom Brady. She should want me. I'm Peyton Manning. No, it doesn't work like that, bro. Those days are done. So to keep your nose clean, pay them. And that way there's no issue. Hey, she came to my room. We did. There was an exchange of money and that's it.
Don't you also realize that that's illegal? If she can prove that you paid her, don't you realize that that's illegal?
No, because as long as I'm not doing it in the street, when she comes to my room, I can say it was a gift. You can't control what goes on.
Don't listen to this man. Please don't listen to this man.
Bro,
go on to something else that you may have some knowledge of.
Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me and be like,
don't listen to this man
over here and be worried about what happens in public opinion. We hope
don't listen to this man. I give you better advice than that. Just don't get involved in the situation. But of course, he's gonna say you can't
Listen,
abstain.
my friend,
So
my co-host wants to pretend that he was never a man of status and opulence as a young man. He hasn't been married his whole life and he hasn't been old. We've exchanged stories, so don't buy into what he's telling you, young man. Just
listen to this man clearly over here. He's saying that I can't give you better advice than I took. He's saying if I did something wrong, then I got to advise you to do the wrong thing as well. Is that what you're saying?
What are you talking about?
That's what you're saying, bro. That is what you're saying.
The women are in the room for sex. That's why they're there. So why not pay them for their services?
Keep them out of your room.
On the front end, you're not going to keep them out of your room.
Keep them out of your room.
Bro, you're being ridiculous. Moving right along.
You're being ridiculous.
Listen, bro. Florida has introduced a bill to block transgender athletes from participating in women's sports in high school.
I agree.
I'm sure you're all for this because you're such a traditionalist.
No, bro, that makes sense.
This is going to be interesting, though, because I wonder if colleges will adopt this next. High schools, yeah, we can kind of go with, but colleges. Everybody's a legal adult in that situation, bro. What do you think?
Listen, just like you would not want Clarissa Shields to get in the ring with Keith Thurman or Terrence Crawford or Earl Spence Jr., you should not want your college females. I'm not diminishing their character, their ability in any way, but you should not want them to have to compete against males who consider themselves females. It's an unfair advantage. I wish you had told me you were going to do this story, because there's a school out is it in Oklahoma? They have a 6'5", 225-pound forward who used to be a Navy SEAL, who is now walking around transgender and playing for them. And you could see the rest of the women looking at this dude like, it just, I don't agree with it. I really don't agree with it. Especially, I just don't. Especially in high school. Like when I had a transgender who wanted to wrestle against the girls. What?
Well, I'm going to take a different approach on this. I don't agree with it, but I tell you what, if you can match them up together in the right weight class, the right size, and the woman feels like she's able to do it, go for it. At this point, I'm ready to see Clarissa Shields fight anybody at 147 because she keeps saying she can beat these guys. We know there's a clear disadvantage, but apparently she doesn't. And she has the accolades and experience. And if you feel like you can beat a man, then I guess go for it. Who am I to stop you from pursuing your dreams? If Clarissa Shields fights, she can beat Keith Thurman, then put her there with him and see what happens.
That's ridiculous. Sometimes you got to protect people from themselves. Good morning, Miss Samantha. She said, let the badger speak. He's advising him, man. He's advising him incorrectly.
I mean, yeah, you say you got to protect people from themselves, but...
You yourself said it would not make any sense for her to get in there. Watch the pod. Hashtag watch the pod. Watch our earlier conversations about that.
We're not talking about what makes sense. I'm simply saying that if a woman is adamant, if she's saying it don't matter, he's a man, I can beat him. Who am I to tell her no? I would advise her against it, but that is her right to pursue her happiness and her career in whatever she wants. You don't arbitrarily match a man with a transgender. That's not right at all. But if she says, hey, I don't care about him, bump it. I'm 147 or I'm 154. He's 154. I can beat him. All right, sweetheart. Your wish, you get it. It's that simple.
It's not that simple. It's not that simple, and it shouldn't happen, especially in high school. You're not. No.
I said college. I said you think this is
college, but the story was about high school. There's no way that should happen.
High schools are minors, so yeah, I'm completely in agreement with that. But I think when you get to college and people are adults, consenting adults, they can make their own decisions. If that's what they feel, with all the knowledge that they have, if you saying, hey, I don't care about him being a man, Let's run it. Bro, we know some women that can beat some men, though.
Yeah.
Right now with no training.
Yeah, I'm married to
So
one.
tread lightly here.
Yeah, no.
I'm not saying across the board. I'm saying if they're both in the same weight division.
Listen,
and she's saying
I'm not
this.
treading lightly. I'm
What
not
to
treading
do?
lightly. Simply put, you protect people from themselves. Now, I'm not saying that there are no women that can beat a man. I know that there are women that can beat men. I'm talking about at the top level. I get that. The one thing that's interesting about that, when you look at sports like martial arts, Taekwondo, when you look at Taekwondo championships, my cousin, 6th-degree black belt, ran tournaments in Hong Kong, never had an issue when competing against a man, but at the top level in tournaments, she had to compete against women. Could she have beaten a man? Yes.
We'll never know.
No, she has. But in certain tournaments,
so then what's the point of bringing this up?
tournaments, they're not really tournaments, but in sparring and just combat itself, she has. But in the major tournaments, no. Women compete against women, men compete against men. Then you have some open tournaments at lower levels, but at that level, no.
Well, I'm one for letting people make the best decisions for themselves to pursue their own happiness. I can tell you all day don't get in the car and drink and drive, but guess what? If you decide to do it, that's kind of on you. If you get caught by the cops, that's on you. If you kill yourself with somebody else, that's on you. You have the freedoms to do things like that, bro. At this point, especially Clarissa Shields, at this point, I'm almost tempted to see it because she keeps saying it and you know, she keeps calling these guys out that, I mean, she spars with Earl Spence. She spars with Shakur Stevenson. She spars with these people. So apparently there is something behind what she's saying. I say give it to her. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be the guy to take it. I know Keith Thurman's not going to take it, but if you're some early beginner, or maybe you're, you know, maybe you're a guy, so, you know, a journeyman in the sport, it'll do a lot for your profile. Man, take it.
It won't help any guy out in the sport. There's no guy where this fight benefits.
He'll get more followers than me and you.
None. There's no guy that this benefits in the sport of boxing. None.
Well, hey, if you're a lower level guy out there and you can't, and you work in security and McDonald's and being a boxer, I'm sure if you fly Clarissa Shields, you'll make more money in one night you made probably in all years doing what you're doing. So
it'll be your last paycheck.
Step it up. Whoever's there, step it up. Bro, speaking of that.
Undefeated welterweight champion Jessica McCaskill looking to fight a couple of people now. She either wants Katie Taylor and or Clarissa Shields, according to Mark Abrams.
Yeah, good for Jessica McCaskill. I mean, that's what she's supposed to. She's supposed to power these women. I mean, okay. I'm cool with that.
I mean, she's got straps. She's willing to put them on the line. She wants Shields to come down to 47.
That's not happening.
Well, I mean, if she's going to get in there with a 47-pound man, she's going to have to come down to 47.
No, she probably get the guy to come up. She said she's not going down. She said she don't want to lose her peach. She was saying that last week. They were saying, she was like, I don't work too hard to get whatever I got, and I ain't trying to lose it. So I think she's, especially between that and MMA, I think she's going to be comfortable right there 54. But we'll see. I mean, if Jessica McCaskill can generate the revenue to make Clarissa Shields come down, I'm sure she'd do it. But until then, it's not happening.
I was thinking about that fight, McCaskill versus oh my goodness, Breakus.
Still your Breakus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting fight because McCaskill was reiterating a point that she made. She said that her goal was to do a lot of movement and get on a bicycle and pepper her and keep jabbing her, but Breakus just kept coming in and she just kept hitting her. She's like, wow, so I don't have to use movement. She gonna keep coming at me and I'm gonna keep hitting her. And I can tell you what I saw of that fight, that's pretty much what happened. Breakus kept coming in and getting tagged. She wasn't even like taking 2 to give 1. She was taking 3. And then she'd move. It was interesting reading the article about her. By her, because it was cool. It was a good fight.
Yeah, the most interesting thing about Jessica McCaskill this weekend, other than her winning, was meeting her Mexican inside of her family. I thought that was pretty cool.
Now, what weight is Katie Taylor at?
I think all those women are around the same weight class. I think they're like 147. So I think they're all kind of there together.
She's gonna have to come up to fight Shields.
For that fight, I think Shields will come down. That's a legacy-defining fight, and Katie Taylor will bring in the revenue. So I think for that fight, she probably come down.
Where does that fight happen?
Huh?
Where does that fight happen?
Oh, from Clarissa Shields, I'll go to UK and fight her. Because they're not going to sell an arena here, unfortunately.
Texas.
And you don't want to do it, and you don't want to do it in somewhere. I don't think those women deserve to be on the undercard. I think they deserve their own main event. So I think if that's the case, you have to do it overseas, because unless you do it in Flint or Detroit, which I just don't know how many tickets. I don't know if she could sell out a major arena by herself. She did well at the Dort Arena in Flint, where she's from. She sold out. That's a very small arena. That's not, So I think for a fight like that, a mega fight, she'd probably have to go to UK for that one.
And that is one, I think, instead of putting that on pay-per-view, that needs to be on like NBC Sports or ABC Sports or Fox. It would do a lot more for women's boxing if you put it on free TV over here, showing the arena sold out over there.
We'll see if when that fight ever happens, bro. Antonio Tarver's been working his butt off, bro, getting ready to beat up Frank Mir. We know that's going to happen, right? We don't do predictions, bro. Frank Mir wasn't the best striker when he was in the UFC.
You're right.
Interesting sparring partner for Antonio Tarver. Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson, who's been making his rounds, right? Sparring the Charlos, moving around. Superb athlete, but really seems to really like boxing. Don't know if you watch their podcast on YouTube, but they have a very good show that I kind of watch. Him and Brandon Marshall really have a real love for the sweet science, bro. So I wonder, how do you think Ocho did in sparring against Tarver, bro?
He didn't get killed. I think Ocho, a lot of people don't realize that Ocho was, he played at about 215, 220?
No, not even close. He probably played like 180, 185.
No, he was at least 200.
He's a skinny guy, bro. I've seen him a
But
few
how
times
tall
in person.
is he?
He's not about 5'11". I don't even think he's 6 foot. Nah, he's not a big guy. He's not a little guy, but he's a regularly built guy. He's not a very big guy, bro.
But he's put on some size since he's finished playing. Not a lot of size, but he has a little bigger than. So he's probably around 200 now, 205, maybe 210, and he's sparring Tarver, and this is Tarver Senior. So I'm sure Tarver Senior held back a little bit on him, but Ocho Cinco is very competitive at everything he does. So, and
he's a very good athlete. It'll be interesting. He's been training for a while. He's been doing this for a few years. But Tarver definitely was holding back. But check this out. Tarver's also fat and out of shape. So maybe. No, I'm just saying maybe the fatigue probably. I don't know. And we just speculating because there's no sparring tapes or anything like that. It's out. We just saw that they shared the ring together. So we're all just strictly throwing this out into the universe. We don't know what happened. But
I think
I'd like to see it, though.
I'd like to see his sparring session with the Charlos.
A lot of trash talk.
Yeah, man.
Between him and Tarver. I know it was. So I would like to have been there for that because Tarver talks a lot of trash. Even while he's sparring. I've seen him move around the ring with guys, and it's just like a whole dialogue about what I'm about to do to you, what you can't do, all this and all that. So I'm pretty sure it was interesting to be a fly on the wall and hear that conversation while he was going at it.
Yeah. Tarver, yeah. I've always been impressed with him. And the older he gets, the more impressed I become with him. Because he's still able to get in and do things at his age and because of the knowledge and just the command of the sport that he has.
Yeah, and Tarver, look, when it comes to old guys fighting, I told you this a while back, I think Tarver beats them all because he's the only fighter that hasn't changed. Tarver fights not the same way he did when he was a young man. He was never a super athletic guy. He was never a fast, twitchy guy. He was never any of that.
I don't know if he beats Mike.
He was smart, and he just, and his counterpunching, he was just a savant in the ring. When Tarver lost, it was because he was just, and I'm saying this loosely, I just don't think he was all together that mentally. I think there was some outside circumstances that happened. Because when he loses, he looks really bad. Well, not really bad. Let me take that back. When he loses, he's just like he's not there. Mm-hmm. And it's like, watch the Bernard Hopkins fight. It's moments in the fight where it's just like he's just like, what's going on? Like he doesn't like he's. And then you watch him against Roy Jones and any of these other guys. It's like he's a sniper. He has great defense. You can't ever really hit him clean. He don't never get cut. He's never been dropped. Then you realize how good he is, but it's like, well, what happened? So, yeah, I think Yeah. Yeah, I think he beats all those guys.
I think he
And
might
he-
beat Roy, but I don't think he beats.
And dig
I don't think
this.
he beats Mike.
And dig this, he was the only one that stayed in it the whole time. See, Roy stayed in it, but Roy kept taking damage. Mike took a long hiatus. Tarver's been active the whole, even when he ain't been fighting, because he's been in the gym trying to train his son, and all this over the past few years that I've been knowing him. So it'll be interesting, bro. But I'd like to see him and Mike get in. So I think he beats Mike.
I'd like to see the fight though, but I don't think he beats
Yeah.
Mike. If Mike can stay in shape, if Mike
That's the thing.
yeah,
If
we won't know until they get in the ring.
Yeah, just
I
think
see that
Tarver's just.
I mean, that's a lot better
We can
fight
make that
than
happen, bro.
Mike biting you
Make
in
it
your
happen.
chest in a BJJ match.
Hey man, Mike gonna get this work at some point. We ain't worried about it. As soon as he put that gi on, it's gonna happen.
Okay, he's talking
Charlo.
about butter Mike. That kind of
Charlo said, "Bring it on to Benavidez. Let's make this fight happen. I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm tired of him talking all this shit. Let's make the fight happen." Them's fighting words, bro.
You think?
How you feel about it? You think it's going down?
I hope so. I hope they can come to a that's a Las Vegas fight to me.
Oh
Now.
yeah. No. Is it a Vegas fight or is it a Texas fight?
It would sell out in either, but I think it's now because of what Benavidez did recently, and the fact that
And Charlo.
Charlo has been in multiple conversations, and a lot of people feel like he deserves a fight against Canelo. I think he could really pull Vegas off and leave the comfy confines of Texas.
Well, here's the good thing about it, bro. Once they start lifting restrictions on capacity, a fight like this, it wouldn't matter where it's at. People want to get out, they want to see it, and it's a hell of a fight. And it's a true, in my opinion, you may disagree, it's a true 50-50 fight. So, yeah, bro, I think this is it. I hope they make this fight happen, bro.
It's a 50-50 fight. I'd say, actually, I would give 5% more to Benavidez at 68. If he made him come down to 60, I think Charlo has the advantage at that point. But I know
Shit, Benavidez can't make 68 half the time.
Right. So I definitely think it goes up to 68. And boy, I like Charlo in almost every
Bro,
fight.
listen.
But
Yeah, and the thing is, bro, he is now. Before I say this, I think we've heard David Benavidez go on record and say that before he committed himself to where he is now, so just a year ago maybe, he was walking around in between fights at about 220, 230 pounds. Yeah. So that is not healthy. But he's a naturally, he's a baby. Yeah, he's still so young, right? So, and that's why he's able to do this, mind you, because of that youth. If he was 30, this would not be happening. So, he's a naturally bigger guy. But let me tell you something about Charlo, bro. I've seen him on a few occasions. He's not a little guy, bro.
No, not at all.
Yeah, he walks around in between fights, probably at about 190, maybe a little north of that.
Yeah.
So, size-wise, and the way he's built, I don't think I would give.
Listen, Charlo's got the frame to fight 168 easily. I told you, I felt like he was going to finish his career at 175. But listen, at 168, I just don't know if he's fought anybody like Benavidez yet. Normally, Charlo is the person who dictates the fight with that big jab. I believe because of Benavidez's ability to go to the body without having to crowd you, that's going to be something Charlo's going to have to get used to.
Agreed. My thing and my counterpoint to that with Benavidez is I feel like I just don't know if he's taking those shots repeatedly from Charlo that he took from Ronald Ellis.
It's funny because when we first started talking about this had to be around, I don't know, September, October. You were saying just the opposite.
Yeah, that's because I thought that Benavidez was taking chances against fighters because he just didn't feel like he had to respect their power. No, it's not that. He gets hit a lot. He gets hit a lot, and he gets hit clean. That's not going to change in a year from now. And if he's not displaying that in the ring over the course of the last few fights that we've seen from him, that's just who he is. And if he's going to fight Charlo like that, then he better hope that his punches are going to do more damage to Charlo's body, because Charlo's not going to get hit in the head. He's not going to get hit clean. He has good head movement. He better hope that that's going to do a lot of damage. That's going to wear Charlo down fast, because if not, he's going to be a Pez dispenser for that jab all night long. And once you get tenderized with that jab, we know what comes after that. So it's still a 50-50 fight in my opinion, but boy, Benavidez stands straight up a lot. Not only is he stand straight up a lot, he also gets square a lot. Now, when he gets square, it's because he's really letting his hands go. So but boxing 101, you never get square. He squares up a lot, but he likes to do that. He's a true Mexican style. He's coming forward, he's bringing pressure, he's letting his hands go. I don't know if that's going to work against Charlo, but we'll see. I like it. I like the fight for both fighters.
Because you called this fight clearly for Benavidez in September. Clearly. And I was like, whoa, against Charlo? You were like, this is the fight Charlo doesn't want. So it's interesting to hear your perspective now after seeing Benavidez fight again. I like Benavidez. I always like Charlo. But I like Benavidez in this fight. And again, he seems to, when he was taking those body shots against Ellis, he was taking a lot of them on the elbows. He reminded me, he was trying to be like Ali was against Foreman, up against the ropes. But again, Ellis doesn't hit like Charlo, so I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, and the crazy part about it was he beat Ellis up, right, and got the stoppage. And there was no argument from the Ellis corner, which, was smart. But after the fight, if you'd have asked me if I hadn't saw the fight, and you would have asked me who looked like they lost, Benavidez is pretty busted up. And Ellis is not a puncher. I don't know if that's going to happen with Charlo, bro. He's not going to take that many shots from Charlo. I'll say that. That's not going to happen.
So when you say this against Charlo, do you think Benavidez beats Canelo or Plant even?
I think I didn't say he couldn't beat Charlo. I said it's a true 50-50 fight. I think Benavidez has advantages over all of those guys, and it's the same advantage. Nobody's punching in more combinations than him. That dude, he's like Street Fighter combinations, 6, 7, 8 punch combinations, and they hurt. And he's big. He's going to have that advantage over everybody he fights. Canelo, Plant, Charlo. So that's why he's going to be a threat in all of those fights. And I don't think anybody beating Canelo, but I think he has a legitimate chance to beat all those guys. Okay. So, yeah. So, bro, we got a fight card coming on tonight that you talked about earlier in the week, NBC Sports, Ring City Boxing. We got Alberto Machado against Angel Fierro, the main event. That's the only one we need to talk about. We don't know any other guys on the other card. Last time we saw Machado, bro, was getting dusted up. He's a very tall guy for this weight class, bro, and he was a prospect, and this maybe gets him back on the track in pursuit for another title run. I don't know much about his opponent, but Machado needs a big win here. They're fighting in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico versus Mexico, bro. What do you expect tonight?
Fireworks. That's about what they're at the right weight. When you start looking about lightweight fights, they're going to throw punches and bunches, and they're going to keep coming forward. So this may be a fight that you never see. The ropes never even move. They just stand in the center of the ring and circle and punch.
My only concern with Machado is he doesn't use that range. Machado's like 6 foot? 5'11", he's tall as heck for that weight class, bro. So, but he gives up his reach a lot, and that's the thing that concerns me about him, bro. And we talk about this a lot with other guys, right? Rob Easter Jr. Who was another one that we see that doesn't fight with their height a lot? E-Bunny, and it was another guy. We like, bro, he never uses his height, his length. Anyway, but yeah, same thing with Machado. So, if he can stay behind that jab, fight at distance, fight at range, and line his opponent up with that right hand if he gets too close. I like Machado in this fight. He's got the more experience, bro. He's been on the big stage. But, bro, he needs this fight. If he don't do this, it's over for him, bro. He lost Yeah, back-to-back losses to Andrew Cancio, and they were both knockouts, bro. He's been touched twice.
And this fight's in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
It's funny because Fierro says, I know we're in enemy territory against Machado. It's going to be a war.
Yeah. And I remember his fight against Jezreel Corrales on HBO. Jezreel was Jezreel's from Panama. He had the bleach blonde hair.
Yes.
That was the best version of Machado that we saw, bro. And he was able to defend that. He was able to, when he got the belt, he was able to defend it a couple times. But, bro, when he got Andrew Cancio, it was just devastating knockout after knockout, bro. He's had one fight since then. He's would have got a 17-1-1. So, yeah, I'm with you tonight. Fireworks. Hopefully Machado can pull it off, but we'll see.
And don't forget, tomorrow night on ESPN, you have Kareem Gurfey versus Lee McGregor. And that's a European bantamweight title fight. So, again, both of them going to get in there and swing. That's going to be ESPN. That fight's coming from Boughton Stadium in the UK. It should be a good fight.
That's what's up. So, bro, dive a little bit into history real quick. I saw a conversation on social media, and they were saying, is Michael Spinks a Hall of Famer? Michael Spinks only has one loss. You know what that loss is to, bro?
Yeah, the person he took the title from, Muhammad Ali. No, I'm thinking of Leon.
You thinking Leon, Michael.
Did Michael lose to Dwight Braxton?
No, Michael was knocked out by Mike Tyson. The only loss on his ledger.
Wow, and I saw that fight.
Yeah, he's beaten an old but legendary Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. Bro, he beat Dwight Muhammad Kawi.
Who was Dwight Braxton originally, yeah.
Right. He beat Larry Holmes. Bro.
Yes, he's a Hall of Famer.
Are we not giving Michael Spinks his roses, bro? Or is he just another great fighter, but maybe not GOAT? Maybe not great, just a good fighter.
Michael Spinks should be considered, he should be in the Hall of Fame. His problem is, just like his brother, like Leon was the nicest guy from what I've heard from dozens of people. Leon was one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. But, and this is going to sound crazy, but this is the Richard Pryor effect and the Robin Harris effect. They have been made fun of so much by black comedians that black folks really didn't get behind them and make a push. I know it sounds crazy, but you think of Michael Spinks, you don't think of a great boxer. Most people think of what Robin Harris said when he said Michael and Leon were in the 5th grade, and I think Leon was 18 and Michael was 14. And Leon said, Michael, how you spell farm? And he said, that's easy, dummy. E-I-E-I-O. And most people, that's what they associate them with. And Richard Pryor talking about Leon after he won the fight. Like, you know, when he got caught, I think he got caught drunken driving or high or something. And Leon made the statement, I ain't got nothing to lose. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no teethus. And I certainly ain't got no driver's license. I mean, they have been caricatures. And it took away from the status of them being great boxers.
Yeah.
I would love to see Michael Spinks in the Hall of Fame. But the last time I saw him fight, he was either afraid or high when Tyson beat him. Bro, you saw the fight. You may not have seen it live, but you saw it. That was one of the few fights that I saw on pay-per-view as a teenager. And that was like a 50-second fight. And that was the image that people are left with. Like, Michael Spinks, they don't see the other people he beat that you named.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? It's true. You're right. The Spinks brothers have been the butt of jokes in boxing as long as I can remember. And that is unfortunate. It just kind of makes you think about it. But yeah, it's kind of been that stain that's followed them around now with Leon being gone now. And it's just Michael. I wonder if maybe they'll finally get their roses, or at least Michael.
Did Leon get in the Hall of Fame?
I think he did.
I thought he did.
I think he did.
Because he beat Muhammad Ali in the 7th pro fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something crazy like that, yeah.
But then he lost the next fight to Muhammad Ali. But still, I mean, in that situation, I mean, I guess you don't put a person in the hall. But he clearly beat Muhammad Ali. It wasn't a situation like James Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Where Tyson was just all out of sorts.
When they gave Buster 13 seconds too.
Right, exactly. And,
So
and that was because
we ain't
Tyson
talking
was
about it.
supposed to lose. Why
History
not?
is history.
It's sports combat, and you said we were
History
going to talk
is
about
history.
history. You said we
Can't
were going to talk
rewrite
about
it.
history. No,
Mike,
but you
man,
can talk
put the
about
gi
it.
on, man.
Mike,
Put the gi on, Mike.
please
man.
put the
Redeem
gi on.
yourself.
Please
Redeem
put the gi
yourself.
on. And not
Redeem
the butter.
yourself.
Not the butter. Not that kind of ghee. Put the regular.
Redeem yourself.
Because if you butter up, this man might get hungry.
I like
so
me.
put a regular ghee
I
on.
like me. How
You
about
gotta
that?
like you. I'll be
Bro.
a corner man, but I'm putting money on Mike.
Before we get out of here, Ortiz Hooker. Any thoughts on that?
Yes, I can't wait to see it. That's the thought I'll give you. I can't wait to see it. And your UFC main event. Any thoughts on that?
Same here, bro. Both guys, man. Brunson, you better show up.
Holland?
Maurice Hooker, you better show up because these young gunners, Kevin Holland and Virgil Ortiz, they trying to make their name off y'all right now to get them to the next level. So all I can say is y'all better show up and be ready because they coming. They definitely coming.
And don't take the attitude Lomachenko took.
Speaking of Lomachenko, we need to see him back soon. Him and David Haney going back. So maybe we'll see that fight.
I like Haney in that one.
Yeah, maybe we see it. I like it for both guys. I'm interested. We up against it now, brother. What else we got?
Listen, get into these fights tonight on NBC Sports. Yeah, Mom, you can get it. It's on your Fire Stick. And tomorrow on ESPN, and you got fights all on Saturday. I mean, it just look at your local listings. It's gonna be a good weekend of fights. And the NCAA starts tonight. The tournament, they had the play-in games last night, but the real dance. I know you shine your shoes. You got your silver slippers on. Who's your dancing partner? Who's taking it all away?
Man, don't know. This normally is done at the high school in the gym. We have a big ball normally, right? Because it's the tournament. But now it sounds like a house party, which sometimes is better than a big party club, right? So we'll see. I don't know who I'm going with, bro. But my Kentucky Wildcats ain't even in it, so my heart ain't in it this year. So
listen, my Georgetown Hoyas are. They won the Big East tournament. They'll breeze through the first round, and then they get Florida State in the second round.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Ooh. Hey, man, shouts out to Patrick Ewing and Leonard Hamilton, bro. Both of them brothers got them programs rocking. Patrick Ewing got Georgetown, kind of looking like Georgetown old. And Leonard Hamilton is getting all the athletes at Florida State. And for the past, 8 to 6 years, Florida State, their basketball program is probably better than their football program. So, hey.
Not probably. It has been.
Yeah.
And
Let's
they've
tune
been
in for that
there.
one.
They've been there for a while. I mean, Hamilton's
And they've been
there
good.
for a while,
Yeah.
Because remember,
When he
he was
came to Miami.
and then he went and coached the Wizards. And he coached the Wizards for a while. And then did he go to Miami then and then to Florida State?
I don't remember. I just remember him at Miami. I forgot he coached in the NBA, but I remember him at Miami because he had that program rising. And then he was gone and he showed up at Florida State. So I don't remember.
And USF never made a play for him. Never made a play for him.
Shouts out to USF girls, the women's team.
Yes.
Conference champs, 8 seed. They probably should have got a better seed than that, but shouts out. Go Bulls, baby. We'll see what they do.
Listen, the men actually came close to making it in the tournament. They made a run. They made a run in the ACC tournament. I mean, not the ACC.
It's not horseshoes.
No, stop it, bro. I shout out to the men. Y'all had a really good showing for yourselves. And
give me a reason to shout y'all out.
You
Y'all
lost
been
to
nuts since I left there.
you lost
That
to
was a long
Wichita
time ago.
State, and you lost to Wichita State by just a couple of points. The eventual, I think, conference champions. So I give shout out to USF men because they don't usually do too well. And
They don't. Shouts out to Jimmy Baxter, Michael Cone, BB Walden, all those guys back when I was at USF, when USF was good in Conference USA, when that Conference USA was tough.
Really, you not even go back to Chucky? Oh, that's before you. Last
Yeah,
time we
bro,
made
I
the
said
tournament.
last time it was good, not the first time it was good.
No,
Relax.
they didn't. That's the last time they made the tournament was under Chucky Atkins.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They made they got to the 32. They got the round of 32 a few years ago, and they had that little point guard. They had that funky little dribble. I can't remember his name.
The white
But
dude,
they made it to
Reggie.
the round of 32. No. Little short black dude. He was a lefty too. I can't remember his name. Awkward guy. But they got all the way to, I think, the round of 32.
I don't remember that. That had to be a while ago. I really don't remember
I
that.
think it was probably like maybe 8 years ago. Maybe they ain't been super long, but they ain't been recent.
Yeah, and I mean it's funny. You look at the coaches they've had: Bobby Pascal, Seth Greenberg.
That was the one that hurt him. When they lost Seth, that hurt him. Because Seth was recruiting. He could get recruits. Whatever was what he could get guys in.
So could
they
Bobby.
just seem to have a hard time getting recruits, man.
Bobby was able to get recruits. I mean, you start thinking about when they had Chucky Atkins and Robert Polk and Denzel Rush.
Bro, why you keep going back to the land before time? I said, bro, stop doing that. You're showing your age.
First of all, you going back to the land before time. I'm trying to
No,
educate
the
you on them
guys
guys. I'm trying to educate you,
Bro,
Dave
you ain't
Delancey.
educating me.
I'm trying to
I
educate
see.
you on them guys.
I was there when Chucky Atkins drugs was lifting to the Raptors. I remember those guys.
No, you
But
don't.
all I'm saying is they were better
You didn't see him play.
after Chucky left.
You didn't see
That's
him
all.
play.
No, I did. But I did see him in the NBA. He was okay. He was okay.
They
Anybody make it to the NBA is good.
Listen,
So
and that's before they restored the Sun Dome. That's back when they had the air pillars on top with the vacuum keeping the roof down.
Yep.
That place used to rock, boy, I'm telling you. But I still remember going to see a game against Louisville back when they had Denny Crum, and the Cardinal used to look just like the coach, had the same suit on. Listen, Louisville did something I had never seen before in life. Off the tip-off, they got an alley-oop on USF. And I said, ooh, it's going to be a long game. And it was.
yeah, man, Louisville was a powerhouse then, bro. That was, listen, back in them days at USF, man, that was a tough conference, especially for basketball, bro. Cincinnati, Louisville, Marquette, all those schools, bro. I remember when Dwayne Wade came to the Sun Dome, he just shut it down. He was a one-man wrecking crew. And he had he still had the other guy. What was the other guy on that Marquette team? The shooter. What was his name? Dang it! But he was the Batman to Dwayne. I mean, he was the Robin to Dwayne Wade's Batman, bro. But yeah, some ballers that came through Tampa via Conference USA and had some monster numbers against our Bulls.
Yeah, and that's the first time I saw Bob Huggins coach. Is when they came.
I'll get back.
Ooh, That defense was just so freaking fast and intense. I think Kenyon Martin was on that team.
Yeah, Tony Bobbitt. Yeah, they had a squad that year.
Yeah. Oh,
That was before I got here, but yeah, that was when Cincinnati was.
oh,
Yeah.
Nasty. Listen, shout out to USF women. They consistently make it to the tournament. They usually do them and the softball team. They always represent USF. Now, if we can get the football team on board, we'll be all right. So, listen, shout out to my mom, my pop, my daughter, my wife. My wife is wrapping up her spring break. I hope she enjoyed it. Shout out to my nieces, my siblings. It was somebody else I wanted to pay a shout out to, but I forgot. Anyways, oh yeah, you. Shout out to you, Badger. One of these days we gonna actually get here 5-10 minutes early, and we're gonna rock and roll on the zeros.
Sounds like a plan, man. We want to give a shout out to everybody in Fight Extra Nation for rocking with us today. This is a hiatus. Y'all want to see us this Sunday on the More Fine Show. We can talk about all these fights because we saw them. Hopefully y'all will too. Spread the love out there. It's real. Shouts out to Triller for taking over the game. They just got verses from Timberland and Swiss.
Oh,
Jesus,
nice.
Triller's doing everything. They got boxing, they got entertainment.
Nice.
I'm gonna get me a Triller t-shirt.
No,
Hey,
I'm more impressed with
we
Timberland
was-
and Swiss because they started this from nothing and were able to build it up to make it viable to sell. Shout out to them.
Yeah, kudos. Maybe we can keep something one day. Hey, Vanessa Bryant, we with you, girl. Make them pay. Fight Extra Nation. We'll see y'all Sunday. Be out of here. Peace.
Peace.